Hi, Anna.
Hi.
Welcome to the Weeby Yoga School podcast.
Super excited to be here.
So fun, right?
Yep.
For everybody that's listening, Anna, could you introduce yourself for the people that don't know you yet? Just a little bit about who are you and I guess your relationship to yoga.
How much time do we have? No, I'm
Yeah, just like a
kidding.
quick light question
I
to
know. I'm
start.
just teasing. I'm just messing with you. Like my
So tell me your
story.
whole
We've
life
been
story
sitting
right
here for
now.
a while. So my name is Anna. I've been a yoga teacher since February of this year, but I've been practicing yoga for gosh, at least 15 years, maybe almost 20.
Yes.
I am a single mom. I am a working professional and I am a yoga teacher. But I would say I identify the most with being a yoga teacher because it's something I actually enjoy doing and something that I've wanted
Yeah.
to do forever, forever.
Yeah. I
So,
know.
yeah, I mean, that's it. Single mom, yoga teacher, working professional, just trying to breathe through each chaotic moment of light, one breath at a time.
Relatable, my friend. Wait,
Yeah.
so why did you do you remember the first yoga experience you've ever had or when you do you tell me?
I do, because it's funny and it stuck with me forever.
Of
So my
course.
very first yoga class was at an LA Fitness in Warrington.
Was
And
it the one across the street? That's
yeah,
crazy. I didn't know that.
so yeah, that's where so this was yeah, that was 20 years ago. So 20 years ago, I go to LA Fitness and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna try this yoga thing. And I'm assuming this person had been taught vinyasa, like that's what she was teaching, and it was intense. And all she kept saying through class was, and breathe, in this like voice. And it just, it just stuck with me forever because I was like, who is this broad? And why does she keep telling me to breathe?
Broad.
Right?
Were you breathing though? Were you listening to her?
I wasn't like, I didn't know what Ujjayi breathing, what any of that stuff
Yeah.
was at the time, but it stuck with me. I enjoyed it. Didn't, the spiritual piece did not click. That was not
Right.
at the point where it was like, oh, this is an exercise thing. Cool. And I enjoyed it, but then really didn't get into it until I joined a yoga studio and when I went to Cornerstone. So then it was different. So when I actually went intentionally, let's say, like I kind of had a
Yeah.
better idea of what yoga was for, then
Right.
I had a different experience. But yeah,
Yeah.
my very first yoga class was it's hilarious. If I saw this person in a crowd, I would recognize her.
Yeah. It's so funny to hear people's first yoga experiences and then thank God we somehow make it back. What happened that you were like, okay, I'm gonna go do another class?
I want to say that when I was going through some pretty serious, I was pregnant with my second, and when you go through stuff, unfortunately, we all have our vices that we go to.
Of
And
course.
being pregnant, what vices do you have,
Right.
right? So my
Right.
vices were not my vice, my outlet was working out, right? So it
Yeah.
was like crazy gym person. People would come up to me and be like, "You're gonna squat that baby out." Because I'd be on the cable machine like, "Whoa!" But it didn't ground me, right? So that was the thing is that I love lifting weights, but it doesn't ground me. It doesn't bring me back to where I'm actually at in that moment.
I love how you just explained that. That's so relatable.
hmm
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
Um, so when I went the second time and I realized, oh, this is supposed to be like meditative and like all this stuff. And the yoga classes that I went to, they would have either an opening meditation or ending meditation, but that's not really what I connected with. I'd be
Yeah.
sitting there like I was in school when I was a
Yeah.
kid,
Yeah.
bouncing around like, are we done yet? Are we done yet? So what struck me was how teachers would give you their dharma, and I didn't know what that was. Now I understand what they were doing, but it was always something that made me realize who I was outside of the situation I was in.
Yeah.
And I was in a bad situation. So what brought me back was trying to find sanity, trying to find something that was going to bring me, I mean, for lack of a better term, peace. It's kind of corny, but that's what
It's
I was
not.
looking for. And I think
Yeah.
that's what, when you go online, you see all these Zen people and you see, this stereotypical view of yoga. And that's what I thought. Well, oh, it's going to bring me peace. It brings you so much more than that. It's not
So
just
much more
peace.
than that. It'll get you there maybe, but it's also in the mirror. It forces you to work through the the thing,
Yes.
whatever it is you're supposed to work through.
Which I didn't know, and I'm glad I didn't, because maybe I
Yeah,
wouldn't have
yes,
gone,
see,
because
what if it came back?
I think that's the
That's
part
so
that
good.
people may not like. You almost don't even want to tell people, like, "Hey, your mat's a mirror, and you're going to learn about a lot about yourself,"
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it's so that's so true. It is like you wanna say that to people, but you don't. I think that all the time. I'm like, "This is gonna teach you exactly who you are, whether you wanna know it
Good
or
and
not."
bad.
You know, good and bad. It'll show you. That's so cool. So you were practicing for quite a long time before you decided to go through yoga teacher training.
There was just never time. There was never the money. There was never. I mean, and when I took yoga teacher training, I was at a very demanding job. I
Well,
was
I remember.
was kind of a big deal. No,
Yeah.
I became the important person reluctantly, but it was a really intense job, and I just didn't know how I was going to even like remotely balance the two things, because I really wanted to put myself into it. And I knew it was going to be a lot of work, and in a good way. But what I found was, did it take time away from work? Yes, but in a good way, because I was so obsessed with my job and so obsessed with working that I needed to find something else that I could be equally obsessed about that took me away from it.
Yeah.
So while I was trying to escape from my life, like working, intellectual things are always kind of my escape. I was able to actually switch towards something that I was obsessed about, but that was actually going to benefit me, right? My
Yeah.
job was great. It was
Yeah.
paying my paycheck, but other than that, what was it really doing?
Right. Is that like what the biggest thing that you were nervous about going in was like kind of the time stuff?
The timing stuff, the money thing. I think, I was making pretty much every excuse in the book. I think when we're about to do something that's going to make us uncomfortable, that we like subconsciously just do that, right? It's like we'll
Well,
find every
of course.
reason to
Yeah. All day
not do it.
long. Yeah.
So I found every reason.
Yeah, I mean, I can like justify the biggest to the little. I mean, I can justify not doing the dishes, like that it'll
Right?
benefit me to leave the, you know what I mean? I was just sharing with
Mentally,
some,
I can't do the dishes, and it's gonna put a
you know,
burden on
yeah,
me.
or like that's what our brains are built for. Thank God though, because we can also use them the other way as well. But that's really cool. And also it's funny because you like intuit it was like time I remember like time being a worry for you. I remember that when you were thinking about it. And but like you at the same time knowing that it was going to help with what you just said. You like knew it was the thing that was stopping you, but you also knew it was going to be the thing that helped you with it at the same time, which is I think what a lot of us do. What was like, this is on, now we're going back to your 200. So for those of you that are listening as currently enrolled in our advanced 300-hour teacher training, what was like, when you think back to the 200-hour, what were the sort of biggest, not talking about asana at all, like not
Mhm.
talking about the poses of yoga, but what was the personal shifts that you sort of noticed throughout the training? Or maybe they're happening now.
I mean, I joke around that it was like 6 months of intense therapy, and
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
necessarily a joke. I
It's
think
not.
you really, you learn about the yamas and the niyamas, you're learning about the 8 limb path, right? And I think that it just clicked. It just clicked. What was missing in my life? What were my values, right? I was
Yeah.
brought up Catholic. I went to Catholic school for 11 years, and I think that it's really important to have a purpose and to have a moral compass. Not that the Bible itself it didn't speak to me the same way. Learning the yamas and the niyamas, I think, made me realize, I don't even know how to explain this, what I wanted to be projecting out into the world.
Yeah, and
And
what you needed to
what
do internally to get there.
Exactly, and I started to see the things that were the obstacles were not obstacles, they were the things that I needed to let go of, and those were the things that I needed to work through, and my hesitation was because I didn't wanna work through those things.
Yeah, yeah, well, who's like, "Yep, I'm ready to do the work. I'm going in. I'm ready to look at it all." Yeah, f that kind of stuff always feels like the beginning of teacher training when it's like the 8 limb path and learning about the yamas and the niyamas and all that stuff. Like I sort of think of it now as like it's a design for living. You know, it gives me like you said moral compass. It sort of gives me this rough not like set of rules, but like you know when you're bumping up against that kind of stuff, like when you're not acting right, whether it's towards yourself or towards others, and it like puts it all together. Yeah.
Like, when I would hit that ick, I'd be like, and I was learning the yamas and the niyamas, I'm like, this is the ick."
Yep.
because these are things that I want, that I strive for already. But when I'm butting up against it, that's something that's not in line with that in life, and I feel weird. Like now I know why.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so good. It's so good. What would you say to somebody if this is such a hard question? Like, this is such a hard question to answer because everybody's always like, oh, I'm not ready yet, or this or that. Like you said, you can make up a million excuses as to why, like, I don't have enough time or the money. You can always come up with a reason why not. But what would you say to somebody that says, like, I'm not ready? What would you say to somebody that's like in that place?
So if I'm not ready, I don't have time, I don't have this or that, what won't you have if you don't do it? What have you put aside? Like for me, it was everything was about my kids, everything was about my family, it was about my job. But when's it going to be about you? When's it going to be about
Yeah.
like what's going to fill your cup? And if this is going to fill your cup, I think okay, as a single mother, I will say, I understand how hard it is to balance all the things, okay? And I think
Oh, God. Yeah.
parenthood, regardless if you're single or not, balancing the things is really hard. But what I think we forget about is we're so enmeshed in our kids' lives and family life that we're like, I can't miss this and I can't miss that. And what if I have to go to every single game, right? So you're not going to yoga, you're not doing the things that make you feel good. But what we forget is by servicing ourselves, we're doing that for everyone else around us.
Yeah.
So if you
Yeah.
think this is going to take away from other areas of your life, I would challenge you to say, maybe it's not.
Right. Can I ask you a question? I mean, you can skip this or not. Have the boys noted, like, are they like, my mom's a rock star yoga teacher? They must think that, like, I can't help but think that they must feel very proud of you.
Oh, I don't know. I think know that they see how happy it makes me. I know that they see that when I'm going to teach and I have to leave, that I don't have this heaviness. I don't have this dread that I'm walking in. It's like, oh, I gotta go teach yoga. I think they're proud of me. I think that they're probably to some degree in all of everything that I do. And I've been doing this
Yeah.
on my own for a really long time.
Yeah. And also that you like go, like, they have a mother that they have actively see go after the things that she wants. You're a role model, like that's very cool to see.
And okay, so second thing about parenthood, you don't want your kids to like remember that you weren't there. But like what example are you setting for them in the future? And like you said, you got to go for what you want. So
Yeah.
is like putting yourself second always the example you want to send to your kids?
No. One of the coolest things about, like, that I think about my mom is that woman travels all over the globe because it makes her
I
so
love your
happy. And
mom.
I'm like, I know, right? I'm like, she's the coolest. I
She is the
still
coolest.
want to be, I hope I always keep being like her. Well, now you're having a bit of a different experience. You're in the 300-hour training. Is it different?
It's different, but it's not. It's all centered around the same thing. Why are we doing this? Right?
Right.
Like, which I feel like if we all just led our lives that way, which until I read Start With Why, like, if we led our lives like that, there would be a lot less ick. There would be a lot less existential crises. I think I have an existential crisis at least once a month. Like, what am I doing here? What's the
Yeah.
point?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then I go into my yoga class and I do this thing that I love doing. And I'm like, this is the point.
This is the point. Yeah. This is the whole point to all of it. Yeah.
This is the whole point of all of it. The 300, yeah, it's different in the sense that, you're diving deeper. I think the 200, it's so stressful because you want everything to be perfect, holding
Yeah.
yourself to the standard, which
Yeah.
no one else is, right? It's always self-inflicted perfectionism that seems to be, what kind of sucks the joy out of things sometimes.
If I am at my very best, I can make like a shower an anxious experience.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh my gosh.
you know,
Yeah. Don't even get me started on that. So I would say what's different is that I'm excited to develop the things I want to develop. But as I'm also working with the other YTTs and they're developing their thing, I'm learning so much more. So it's not just what I'm working on and what I'm getting out of it. I'm experiencing what everybody else is getting out of it too and what they're working on. So not to say that I'm going to be stealing anyone's ideas, but like
yeah, no, that's the beauty of having the community, being in a supportive community. I mean, that's the point, right? Yeah, that's the whole point.
it is different, but like in a good way. It's
Yeah.
I'm excited. I love the anatomy piece. I feel like The 300 could be like 3,000 hours easily.
Yeah, well, it's like exactly. 100%. What would you say, not that you've like been to a whole bunch of other yoga schools, but what stands out to you about what we kind of do? Like what is different from like the way that we teach, our sort of philosophy? Like what in your experience sort of like stands out to you that you know is either different from other people, or like if people are listening and they're curious, what are your thoughts around that?
So I haven't been to other yoga schools, but like I've
Hmm.
been to other yoga studios that clearly have schools, right? And
Yeah.
how the teachers are teaching at the studio is very much indicative of what your yoga teacher training is going to be like, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I would say that, and I couldn't put my finger on it until I started the 200, but there was something different about Weeby and how the classes were taught. And it was how we address people directly, right?
Yeah.
Everything was directed to you as a person, whereas other yoga studios, and not that this is bad, but other yoga studios, it was, we are doing this together, or there was just a different language, and the language wasn't good or bad. This just spoke to me. I would be in a class, I would feel really great. I would feel like I was being taken care of during class, which was something really different that I hadn't experienced before. So the sense of community, how we cue, how we are very clear. There's no performance here, right? I think for me, it was always a performance. It was always like, oh, look what I can do. I can do a handstand. I'm so cool, right? That kind of thing. But that's not what it's
Hmm.
about. Not to say that you can't do cool in class. It's just that,
Right.
right? There's not this pressure of like, we know Anna can get into wheel, so let's get Anna into wheel today. It's like, well,
Right.
how you
Yeah.
feeling? Giving me the permission to skip the vinyasas, to go into child's pose, or to be like, well, hell no, I'm not doing that today. I felt that autonomy, and that's how I wanted to teach. So for me, the 200 was, I want to teach how I'm taught here. And that's because there's a freedom when it feels like your yoga teacher is talking directly to you, that's special.
Yeah. It's really special. Yeah. That's really cool. It's also just like it makes me want to cry when I hear that. It's like, yeah, that's the point, you know? That's the whole point.
We're teaching people, not postures, right? We're
Yeah, we're teaching
teaching this
people.
like this lifestyle, the magic
100%.
that it is.
We're not teaching you so that you can get into the funky Instagram picture you saw. We're teaching you specifically in a way that's hopefully going to land and translate so that you can use it for a really long time.
Exactly.
That's cool. That's really cool. So you're coming out of like a very big weekend. Where you just had hands-on assist for 100 hours straight, and then business of yoga for another 100 hours straight. Okay, it wasn't actually that long, but there was a big weekend. And you've been killing it online since the week. Obviously, I've been paying attention all week, and I am like, look at her go. Can you say a little bit about how you're feeling as a yoga entrepreneur since the past weekend? And that means how you're feeling when you walk into a room as a teacher, and also how you're feeling as you're like showing up on the internet and putting your offers out into the world. Did that last weekend shift things for you at all?
It did. I think, I mean, and the workshop for adjustment or assist versus, there were obviously two different workshops, but I got so much out of both. The business of yoga, it's hopeful. Most of us come into this not necessarily to make money. We're like, this saved me and I want to introduce other
Yeah,
people
you want
to
to help
this,
people.
right?
Totally.
And I don't think my goal was that I could make a living at this, right? And then I had this
Hmm.
crazy shift in life. I got laid off from my job. I'm not in management anymore. My financial situation is different. I have to make this work to a degree, and to know that it's possible, and it's actually not that complicated. Just need to show up. That's it.
We just make it, we complicate it. We complicate it. It's not complicated. Yeah.
In addition to all the, just the knowledge and the experiences that you've had and bestowing that upon us, it's also accountability. The second you give me homework, I'm like, oh, I got to get my homework done. So like that, and then it's so like having homework of like, all right, your goal is to have 3 posts That was it. That's the nudge that I needed because I couldn't get out of my own damn way. And it was like, just get on social media.
Yeah.
It's not that big of a deal. I
Yeah.
have some trauma
Yeah.
around social media, like in full transparency. Like my ex-husband had been cheating on me while I was pregnant with our son. And how I figured out what was happening was through social media. For me, social media was always like, well, it's how I stay in touch with my family in Italy, right? I've got like
Right.
75% of my family are in a different country.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but it felt like ick doing it for, self promotion.
Mhm.
Well, how else are people going to find me?
You're
Like,
right. No,
it's like,
yeah, exactly.
I wonder why I'm single, but meanwhile, I don't make any attempts whatsoever to meet people. And I just expect that the right human is going to walk through my door as I'm sitting on the couch with my cats
Isn't it
watching.
crazy? Like, that's how we think though, you know? Yeah.
It's totally how we think. So I loved the, like, you broke it down, simple, bite sized, this is how you do it, and giving us a ton of examples. So that way, like, if you do get stuck, hey, listen, you've got 50 things right here. Just pick one.
Right.
Just pick
Yeah.
one. But I think more than anything, also the confidence and the accountability of having someone is watching now. Like, it's not just you. Teacher
That
Heather.
sounds so creepy, Anna, but I am.
I know. And God, who wants to disappoint their teacher, right? It's like,
Oh my God,
no,
it's so
but
weird. I feel like everybody thinks I'm
isn't
just like
it?
out here reading all their posts, like checking their posts, but like I kind of am. It's actually so nice. Like I open my social media and you guys just pop up with all your stuff. And I'm like, yes, go.
But you knew we could do it. You knew, like, it was just a matter
Yeah.
of like, hey, this is how
I
you
mean,
do it, and
it's
now do
like I
it.
have somebody in my life that is that exact like I have two different coaches for all this kind of stuff too. You know what I mean?
I like that you also tailored it, like, as you know me and like our cohort, I could tell that you tailored it based on the people that were going to be there too, right?
Yeah.
Which was
Well, I know you
awesome.
guys so well. I mean, I was thinking about this today when I was like thinking about chatting with you tonight. I was like, I mean, she's been my student for almost 5 years now. Like you've been there from, it has to be like since almost the beginning, 4 years maybe.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, it's awesome. Like I've watched your relationship to yoga change. I've watched
It has.
I've heard all the stories of the kids growing up. Like it's cool.
I think that's the best part of Weeby. And I think just being a yoga teacher in general, it's about the relationships, it's about the community. And I like going to the gym, but it's different working alongside somebody who's just there in your space versus someone who's there in your space,
Yeah.
like your community that's there in your space. And that's the difference between yoga and everything else is that, like, if you're in the right studio, you're there with everybody, like, you're working through it together.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think I know for me as someone who can isolate very easily, as much as I seem like an extrovert, we forget how much community is just as important as the physical aspect of any exercise. Like you
Oh my God, it's
have to,
huge.
it's so big. And maybe like their teacher being nice to them or just the other students in class being engaged is what that person needed that day.
Yeah. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've like felt some kind of way or been having a day or whatever. And like just being able to go out and go to a yoga class and like be amongst people and like get out of my own small minded head for a minute will
Mhm.
like shift the game.
Yep, totally.
I couldn't agree more. I wish I could remember exactly what I was reading, but it was something about like the newest studies are coming out that were like loneliness or like isolation or whatever, like all those kinds of things are more dangerous for your health than something like smoking or being inactive. It's crazy. It's so true. So, can you share? I mean, we all have to promise not to take any of your ideas, but would you share like what you're excited about, what you're working on, like what's coming next? I just know, like I know you and I'm like riding the train with you. I know that you have got, whether you even know it or not, like some big things coming in the next like 7 months.
Totally. So I have the beginners workshop that I'm working with the Upper Southampton Parks and Rec with, and that is a 2-hour workshop where we're just slowing it down, right? So
Yeah.
It's making it simple. It's like, what is Warrior Two? I can think of like when I've taught beginners in my class, that people don't like to not know things, right? So
Oh
when you
yeah.
can't name things, and it becomes inaccessible when you can't name it. So it's going to be so basic. It's why do we do yoga? What is yoga, right? Because it's not just the asanas. I think people hesitate to do it because they're like, well, I'm not flexible. I can't touch my toes. But no, 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 no. Like, that's not what it's about. Well, you'll be more flexible, sure, but it's not about physical flexibility. It's about mental,
Yeah.
emotional flexibility too. So the beginners workshop, I'm really excited about that. The next one's November 25th, and then I'm doing December 8th. I'm teaching at
Oh, so you have
Moksha.
two
I'm
more coming up. Okay, so two more. I'll link these below too for anybody that's interested.
Thank you.
So Tamanend Park, December, you said November 25th and December 8th, right? I'll link
Yep.
these in the notes below for anybody that wants to come check it out.
It's real casual. Like, I'm probably
Cash.
gonna think some weird like finger tits or whatever. Like, it's
Yeah, as we do. Yeah.
right. It's basically it's just yoga, right?
It's just yoga.
It's just yoga. It's not that deep. I mean, it is, but it's not.
What are your regular classes right now? Like where can people come take a class with you?
So I'm teaching at Moksha Monday nights, Monday and Thursday nights at 5:30, and then I'm picking up 7 a.m. on Fridays.
Love
Starting in
it.
January, I teach at 6:30 on Wednesdays at Tamanend Park at the Carriage House. I'm working on a corporate yoga program. I'm working on inversion. Like, I've got so many things in the works. The beginner things seem to be the like for me the what made the most sense, because as I'm teaching at other studios and I'm getting full blown beginners in class, which when you're a new yoga teacher, you're like,
Yeah.
it's almost for me too, right? I'm also learning here, even though I'm teaching this.
It's so good though. You learn when you teach beginners workshops, you learn so much. Like as
Oh
the
my gosh.
facilitator, it's the best. It's the absolute best. Yeah,
It is. It's the best. So yeah, so that's what's going on. I'm excited about the corporate wellness program.
me too.
Yeah, because
That's really cool.
I think if we can be more present, if we can learn how to do some stretches, so you're not like
Yeah.
gonna throat punch Karen when Karen sends you as for my last email again,
Yeah. No, like
right?
really though. Yes.
Legitimately.
Yes. Yeah. Wait, that's so good. And I'll link all your like weekly classes below too so everybody knows where to find you.
Awesome.
I have one. No, I say I have one. I have like just a couple funsy questions if that's okay with you.
Funsies, sure.
What is your favorite yoga memory you have thus far?
My favorite yoga. So, not this is what a weirdo I am. The
No,
first
I
time
love it.
someone farted in yoga class, and the teacher was like
In a class you were taking or in a class you were teaching?
taking a class,
Yeah.
an audible fart. It was
Yeah.
audible. I mean, like
Yeah.
loud.
Yeah.
And like, I've been trying to like, I've had to like quietly try to squeeze one out during because you're just moving stuff around. You don't
Yeah.
even think
Yeah.
about it,
Yeah.
right? But
People
like
fart
the
all the
first,
time in yoga. I don't know if people notice it or not, but it's a constant thing. Somebody's always
it is.
farting.
Things are moving. It's okay. But like
Percent.
the first audible fart in class and how the teacher handled it was so great. She was like, "You're doing it right."
So
That I
good.
think that's my favorite was like, "Oh, okay, so this is normal."
Yeah. Yeah. That's so good. Top three favorite yoga poses and how have they changed over time?
I would say my favorite yoga poses have even changed. I would
Yeah.
say right now my favorites are handstand,
Check, check.
forearm stand, and triangle, man. I don't know. I feel like triangle is just like one of those poses that like when you get it, you get it. And it's so beautiful. It's not supposed to be about the aesthetics, but it's so beautiful. It's just
I have the same relationship with triangle. I have like a love affair with triangle pose. And I love it more than I ever have. And I put a block on the highest height and I like put my hand on the outside of my foot and I'm just take up so much space and I love I when a teacher calls triangle, I'm like, yes.
right.
I mean,
I've been trying
handstand
to
will
trick
always be in
people in
my top
class.
three, but same triangle, man. I love it. I love it.
Triangle. So I was in class, I was taking class this morning and we were working on handstand. And so I was like explaining to people why I like people are afraid of handstand, right?
Mhm.
If you can do planks, you can do handstand. Like physically, I don't think people realize how strong they actually are. It's this, right? And I think most people realize that. It's mental. Why I love handstand and why I love forearm stand is because no matter what is going on in my brain, no matter what intrusive my thoughts are being total assholes that day,
Mhm.
when I'm like, all right, body, we're going to handstand, it's like, everybody shut up.
Yeah, yeah. Same, same. It's a
Everybody
brain
shut up.
silencer. It's a
Right?
complete it'll completely like, people are like, "Go upside down and it changes your perspective." I'm like, "No, it really does,
It really
guys."
does. Your body's like, just get it out. So like I love it because like I know that like I know everything it takes to get there. And so it really does like it's my drishti, right? So I love
Yes.
going upside down for those reasons. I would say like Bird of Paradise used to be one of my favorites, but like Bird of Paradise is tricky because I can do it. There's a
Mhm.
lot of things I can
Well,
do,
your
but as you
shoulder
get
too.
and I
Yeah.
yeah, it's like just because you can should like that. I think like
Right,
there's
it's one of
one
those poses,
takeaway
just
from
because you
yoga.
can. Should you? Yeah, yeah.
Should you?
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
I feel like I have a relationship with a lot of yoga poses that are like that. Like, just because I can, should I? And my yoga practice now is it's that dance, it's the like,
It's like we say listen to your body. It's
mhm.
so
Are
corny,
you
right?
listening?
Are you but like it's the truth. Like are you if you're not listening now, you're going to be listening tomorrow. So you
Sure
better learn,
are.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, final question and like perhaps the most important one. What is your death row meal?
What is my death row meal?
And you can pick appetizer, entree, dessert if you want.
I think my death row meal would probably be something my mom makes. I don't know if they would be able to swing
Yeah.
that,
Yeah,
but
they
like
they can whatever you want. It's your death row meal. So you
it would be my mom's sauce and pasta. Yeah, it would be something it would be like my mom's pasta and meatballs and braciole and
oh,
all the Italian things
so
and the
good.
bread. Yeah, I would get nice and full,
Yes, so full,
like
so full.
stuffed.
Would you do a dessert?
I mean, sure. If I had to pick some dessert, it would be again my mother's Italian cream cake. The best. It takes like an entire day to make, but it is worth it.
So worth it.
So worth it.
Okay, I lied. One more question. If your
Okay.
yoga class was a celebrity, who would it be?
Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh, snap!
I think it would be Jennifer Lawrence, right? Because she's
I
like,
love it.
she seems real put together, and she is.
Yeah.
You know what shit's coming out of that girl's mouth,
You
right?
do
Like
not.
she might be right. Like she trips over her dress. I trip over my bottle. I trip over a block. I'm teaching class. I'm like still knocking things over, like tripping over my own feet. Pink fingertips. Like I would
Yeah, it's so
say,
good. That's a hell of an answer.
I think Jennifer Lawrence because like when I see her act or she's in her, giving interviews, she's so real.
Yeah.
Unapologetically too.
Yeah. She don't care.
She don't care. It's
She's
like
arrived. Yeah.
right. I
That's
would
so good. Well, thank you for being here.
that was so fun.
Oh, you're the
Thank
best.
you for just being here and being here.
Well, for everybody that's listening, make sure you check out Anna's classes, her beginners workshops, and keep an eye on her. Follow her on Instagram and on Facebook. I will put all of her information below. See you next time.
See ya.